Grab a donut and have a seat on the couch. Welcome to Donuts on the Couch. Growing up on Evergreen Terrace, yet another Simpsons rewatch podcast.
Andrew, we're back for season 2 of Donuts on the Couch. Growing up on Evergreen Terrace, as we call it, just another Simpsons rewatch podcast.
Hey, Thom.
Welcome back. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. This is Andrew Murray, Dr. Andrew Murray, and myself, Thom Partridge. We're old college roommates, and we always enjoyed watching The Simpsons, and now we're dads in our 40s, and we're kind of looking back at the Simpson episodes to see what's changed from when we were a kid, what we appreciate now, how it relates to our life, the dynamics of the characters in the show, and just getting together to chat and enjoy the episode. And we welcome everyone to listen in. Andrew, you have anything to add here?
Nothing. No, yeah,
Nothing.
it's an opportunity for Thom and myself to talk about this stuff and just sort of reconnect and thinking about the mental health benefits of male companionship without it getting too weird and all of that. So so we're here to kind of have a good time and talk about these things. It's just funny thinking about like the different stages of our life. So that we've watched The Simpsons and we watched episodes together in our early 20s. And so we have these like complex relationships with these characters and the stories that were told through the years. So if you haven't had a chance, you can go back and listen to season 1, which was an introduction to the show and the introduction to the Simpsons family, the Simpson universe. And season 2 kind of takes the ball from there and sort of runs with it and continues to expand this world of Springfield.
It's going to be a fun season, and today we get to dive into season 2, episode 1. Bart Gets an F.
Tom, I have a confession. All right.
Oh, no. Did you think I got an F?
I've seen you get Fs, Tom. We talked before about how on rewatches in the past, we kind of skipped through season 1. And I mostly skipped through season 2, I would say, for a long time. Thinking back to when I had them on DVDs, like I would usually only put the last DVD in. And for some reason,
shame.
It is a shame. Yeah, I agree. In my 20s, it did feel like the show hit its stride on the last episode of this season, 3 Men and a Comic Book. So that would be the one that I would start with on my rewatches. And as we've sort of seen, again, rewinding back into season 1, there's really so much like heart and writing that goes into that first season and the early storytelling that I'm really excited to do this rewatch because a lot of these episodes in season 2 I really haven't watched in probably 15, 20 years.
Is this your long, elaborate way of saying I've prepped for the wrong episode?
No, I believe that we are on season 2, episode 1, Bart Gets an F. Is that correct?
Yes. Season 2, episode 1, Bart Gets an F. It's we start off every one of our episodes talking about, the intro with the chalk gag and the couch gag, but this intro was more, they changed it from season 1. It changed quite a bit. And
that's right.
And I found that I feel like it looks at the world through Bart's eyes.
I like that. Okay. A little bit different.
We see some of the major changes, and we'll get to the couch and chalk whenever.
Sure.
Some of the major changes is instead of, taking a skateboard by the bus stop, he goes by storefronts, and he passes by Maud Flanders at the Christian bookstore. He passes by.
Was it Maud Flanders or was it Lovejoy's wife?
Yeah, you are correct, sir.
Okay.
My mistake. We haven't met Maud yet. I just saw a random lady, and I was like, "Wait, is that Maud?"
A religious appearing middle-aged woman.
Yes, you're right. That is Reverend Lovejoy's wife, and yes. I should, for one, be thinking of the children, as she always says in later seasons. We see a Pooh with a small dog, angry dog on a leash.
Chihuahua, it looks like.
Yeah. Barney is burping with bottles next to him in front of Moe's Tavern. Yeah. We see Jacques with the bowling ball.
Yes.
Jacques, which, appeared in season 1 episode Life on the Fast Lane.
One episode, but it makes it seem like he's going to be an important character. Yeah.
Exactly. We see Krusty on all the TVs at some
Yep.
sort of electronics store. We see Bleeding Gums Murphy, who
Bleeding
again we
gums.
haven't
Yeah.
seen very much of. He was in Moaning Lisa season one, and we see Chief Wiggum, who has become
That's
a
right.
recurring character. And then
That's right.
very quickly, at towards the end of I had to pause this thing three or
Ooh,
four times after Maggie and Marge beep
Marge.
the
Yeah.
horn at the same time. It quickly pans
Yeah. Big
to the
flash. Yep.
Simpsons house. It's a big flash. But in that big flash, we see a playground scene where it looks like some of the boys are playing baseball. But there's also Nelson, Jimbo, and Kearney bullying people, including Martin Prince. There's a kid who's been stuffed into a trash can. You see Patty and Selma with their laying down next to these boys playing baseball
In the park. Yeah.
in their bikinis on towels, which was reminiscent of season one when they were showing
Mhm.
their vacation slides. You see Dr. Marvin Monroe standing next to Dr. Hibbert in front of the bus, and Otto is there, and Wendell is popping out of the bus. Um,
Interesting.
and Otto, yeah, Otto's nearby, and then there's all the police officers, and then it finally pans, and you see the Flanders house, and then it gets to where Homer is running into the house, pulling in and running
Yeah.
into the house. So it feels very much like this is Bart's world. These are all the adults in Bart's life. I don't know. I
It's
found it interesting.
It's more purposeful in having characters that you recognize. I think in the first season, there's more like, basic generic characters. You don't know who they are. They never turn into characters in the show.
Right.
But they've now built up enough that they can populate the background with all sorts of different characters that we actually know who they are. And that's part of the cool immersion into this world. Like you know everybody in town.
Exactly. And, you might say in a way that we're growing up with
You,
Evergreen Terrace
you might
in
say that.
Springfield. This is, yes, yes. I like when they say
Um,
the name of the show in the show.
Another observation, Tom, is uh, Howard's Flowers is gone, along with semi-painless dentistry is gone,
I
replaced
saw that,
by
yes.
I don't know, a candy shop that also says Dandy, but I can't actually get what the title of it is.
Yes, I think Candy is dandy. I don't
Oh,
know if it is or isn't, but
I like that I overthought that, and you probably got it square on the nose.
and I think it's very ironic and purposeful that maybe semi-painless dentistry has gone out of business and they've replaced it
Ooh,
with the sweet tooth.
ooh,
They've
okay.
replaced it there. They're like, you know what? Screw this. We can't deal with all this stuff. Let's just sell them what they want. Let's sell them the
People
candy.
follow their impulses, yes, don't they?
Yeah. So
Better business.
I thought that was really really cool how they did
Yeah.
that. Um,
Oh, so and then we get a chalkboard gag. And
yes, we
we
do.
see the evolution of chalkboard gags in the first season, and sometimes it's kind of relevant to the episode, sometimes not. This one, it's I will not encourage others to fly.
Right. Yes. Have you ever encouraged anyone to fly in inappropriate ways on the schoolyard?
No, but I kind of think back to like as a kid, like having this idea of like, okay, I've seen people fly on TV. I wonder if I could. And then like trying to put the pieces together of like, could I make wings? And then like I would try jumping off my deck holding a box or something
Yeah.
and just not get very far.
Yeah, I had a neighbor growing up who jumped out of his second floor window, and I think he broke his arm.
Oh, jeez.
Because he thought he could fly.
Sure.
So that was very much okay. We don't fly.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
Yeah, the gravity is consistently strong on this planet. So
Yes, yes, it certainly is. Um,
no matter where you grow up.
And we see we see a couch gag
We do, yeah.
where the family comes in, and this one. So last season, if you watched it with us or didn't or need a reminder, it was very much. It was a consistent theme of there wasn't enough room on the couch for
Not enough
everybody.
room. Yep.
Maggie would pop off, Bart would pop off, Homer would pop off,
They were
or
all
every
fairly reality
yeah.
based.
Yes, and now this one is still reality based, but much more devastating. They all sit on the couch, and the couch immediately crashes through the floor and goes down into the basement, which we're talking some serious injury here.
This series, yeah, okay, I could see what you're saying is it's still reality based, but I would argue that maybe they're trying to push it a little bit.
Oh, they certainly are trying to push it a little bit, but there's no aliens coming in through the window.
Right,
There's
yes.
no, it doesn't pan out into a different space and time. But yeah, no, the chalk. I
They're
mean,
getting more
the couch
absurd,
goes right
right?
down. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, which
yeah,
is
yeah.
good. This is what we want.
That's right. Right. So, in the first season, you may remember that we would kind of try to visit on the first line of each episode. Sometimes it was really telling of what was going on, what the episode was going to be about, some foreshadowing. In this episode, I think it does sort of do that a little bit because we see the dynamic with Krabappel and Bart and even Martin. So, the first thing we hear is Mrs. Krabappel, the teacher in the fourth grade, saying, Bart, and Bart saying, huh? And her replying, there will be no further interruptions during Martin's book report. Well,
Yes, yes, and Martin is putting on quite the book report.
very dramatic. Yeah.
He is dressed up. He is talking about Hemingway, um, and it's wild. And Bart is uncomfortable, and he doesn't want to be doing this and be
Yes, does
part of
not
this
want to be
class right
called
now.
upon. Yes, of course. But yeah, I love this like over dramatic old man in the sea telling that he's giving to the other students who like aren't that interested, but clearly Mrs. Krabappel loves it. A brief note, sort of ties in maybe a little bit here with some of the themes that we've been talking about, was about Ernest Hemingway, who passed away sadly by suicide following a couple of hospitalizations at the Mayo Clinic.
Ah,
Yeah, so it's one of those things, sort of an interesting historical note. I previously had worked for the Mayo Clinic as a psychiatrist. It wasn't anything that we like talked about there. I learned everything
right.
about it from Wikipedia or books or things like that. But
Your training manual is just reading the
important
old man
people
of the
who were
sea. Yeah.
unsuccessfully treated here. Anyway, great institution in Rochester, Minnesota. So,
Excellent.
yeah,
Shout out to Minnesota. Hey.
that's right. That's right. So now it's Bart's turn to give his report, right? And his report's on Treasure Island.
Treasure Island. I read Treasure Island not as a child. I read it a few years ago.
Yeah,
Um,
you actually
it,
commented on this in season one. You talked briefly about Treasure Island. I don't know if you
yeah.
remember that.
I went through a year where I started reading a bunch of the classics, and I think a bunch meant like two.
Yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
I don't even remember what the other one was. But yeah, it's a kid's book. It's fun, but Bart is up there. Clearly, he has not read it.
Yes,
And he's
not.
looking
Yeah.
he's and this is great because I feel like this is so relatable. He's trying
That's
to
it.
like give a report or give a test about
Yes.
something that he's never done.
Just based on the cover. Yeah.
Yes. I actually did this in college. I don't know if you know this.
Go on.
I had to give some public speaking thing about ourselves or whatever and how it affected us and whatever. And I gave a full blown report about my summer on a lobster boat, taking photos. I think from our buddy Chris Curran in college because he had done this. And I had all the photos up of the boat, none of me. And I just told everyone all the life lessons I learned. And I got a good grade on it, and I didn't do it.
You
So
never were on a lobster boat.
I've never spent a minute on a lobster boat, let alone a summer.
Oh man,
Um,
that's awesome.
yeah, no, I think I got a B. I was pretty much a B student across the board, so I nailed it. So.
So yeah, hit it out of the park then, I'd
But,
say.
but watching Bart sit there and be like, he's holding up the book, and it's just a picture of a pirate with a parrot on it. It's just like, and the pirate, and he had a beard and an eye.
Yeah.
He's clearly just looking at the cover, which is hilarious. And Edna Krabappel, the teacher, is
She she
not.
sees through it.
She sees
Yeah.
right through it,
Yep.
and she gives him the question of, well, what was the pirate's
What was the
name?
pirate's name?
And
Tom,
he's
you said
the
you read the book
panic.
recently. Who was the pirate in this book?
Long John Silver.
John Silver. Okay.
And I only remember that because they say it later in this episode.
Oh. They
Yeah.
coach you through it.
Yep. I would have guessed Bluebeard as well. But I like Bart goes in his brain and he starts thinking of all
Famous
the
pirates.
all the famous pirates he can think of, which I think as a 10-year-old, famous pirates are a big deal,
Sure.
like, they're, much less of a big deal
Did
in
you ever
our
have a
worlds.
pirate phase?
I think so. Yeah.
Did you? I didn't. I don't remember having one.
I don't know, just the thought of treasure and gold and hunting down like digging where X marks the spot is a fun idea.
It is.
I do with I play on Xbox with some of my friends, and we play Sea of Thieves sometimes,
Oh,
and
is that
that's
a pirate thing?
it's a pirate game. Yep,
Yeah.
yeah, including naval battles with cannonballs and all this
Ooh.
stuff. It's fun. It's very cartoony, but it's very fun. So yeah.
Maybe I'll have to
You'll
look
have
into
to
that.
join
That
us.
does
Yeah,
sound fun. Yeah.
live streaming next week. Andrew and I will teach Andrew how to play Sea of Thieves.
Woo, all right. So this earns Bart another detention. So we get a second sort of chalkboard gag, I guess, in this
Which I
episode.
liked. Yeah, they have never done that before.
Yeah. Showing
Yeah,
that it's a real consequence of when, he either misbehaves or doesn't perform in class. And he
and I
has to
think it
write,
validates the chalkboard gag because you can now picture
it's a
Bart
real
actually
punishment.
in these situations and
Yeah.
then what he has to write.
I will not fake my way through life.
Yeah, which sorry, Bart, we've all done it. I've done it. It's okay.
I
It's
think
okay.
most of us are doing it all of the time. It's okay.
As a parent, we're all faking our way through it. Come on, half the time I'm like, "Ooh, I was too hard on him. Ooh, I wasn't hard enough." Oh my God, what am I doing? We
Well, Tom,
always second guess.
this is you showing that you're thinking about what you do, though, and not everybody does that. Actually, you might be
Oh,
surprised, but you reflect on these things, and should I have done that? Should I have not done that? And for me, I think that's what makes for a good parent. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna yell. It happens. But if you can learn from it and grow from it, I think that's important. The other thing I get from it is I apologize to my kids if that happens. Like if I've yelled or sort of blew
yeah.
my top, which happens rarely, but it happens, and I talk to them about it. I'm sorry, I shouldn't do that. I'll keep working to do better.
Yeah, no, I do the same. We're not perfect, and I don't know. Maybe I guess I thought everyone kind of reflected, but you're probably right. People don't.
Yeah, yeah, might be surprised by
I like that our running gag is that this is just my own personal therapy session, and you're my doctor. This is great.
and he's accruing a massive bill.
Hey, oh no.
Anyway, so Krabappel is scolding him, sort of talking to him, and it quickly turns into the blah 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 blah. Bart stops hearing her.
Which I love, which is
Yeah.
very much Peanuts and
Yeah.
and yeah, just that type of the parents are
The adult
talking and
world
the
and the
adult
children
is
world are
talking.
sort
Yeah.
of different places. There's also like a component of I think ADHD with this, where like attention just goes somewhere else and it just sort of becomes background noise, and it's not meant to be like disrespectful or anything like that. It just happens. Like some people only have limited attention spans.
All I heard was blah blah
Blah blah
blah.
blah in my voice.
Ah,
So,
yes.
so she recognizes like maybe he's not tracking, and she asks like, what was I say? What did I say?"
Yes, and he goes straighten up and fly right. She's like, it's a good guess. Get out of here.
Lucky guess, yeah.
Yeah, but it's so funny.
Aw.
Which, he's clearly been told to straighten up and fly right several times
Over and
before.
over. And just
Yeah.
saying that really doesn't do what people might expect it to do.
No,
right?
no,
Yeah.
you can't. You can't just tell people to do things. Nobody wants
Yeah,
to
do better.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do better,
Oh,
Tom.
okay, I'll do better. I'll do better next time. I'll actually
Gotcha.
watch the episode next time.
You're still going on your memory from 1990,
Yeah, yeah.
which
I
is
have it on in the
impeccable.
background.
Yeah.
Slow down! Don't go too fast.
Oh, so next it cuts to him not studying. He's at the arcade playing Escape from Grandma's House.
Yes. And I would be playing that game too. That game looks great. The character has a little shotgun. He's in the grandma's house. He's trying to run away from his grandma. He opens up the closet door and he's like, ew, evil mothballs.
Mothballs, yes. Yeah, I would say in the 80s that was a big component of my grandparents' closets.
So yeah, I had we obviously just have two sets of grandparents just
Usually.
on the tree, whether they're in our life or not. And I had grandparents on my father's side who we were very involved with and went over there all the time and everything. But on my mother's side, we didn't see them as much. And I remember that house was mothball
Mothball
central.
City, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. I would just I would be terrified of even going over there just because of the smell. And Yeah, so I don't know. I don't like mothballs to this day because of that. I
These
don't
are
want anything to
important,
do with
yeah, yeah, important memories, things that
it.
get
Yeah.
seared into our minds.
So
Something dangerous about them. He's kind of telling himself, okay, just a little bit more, and he puts $5 into the machine to get change, which is a lot of quarters. I assume that plays you a fair amount of Escape from Grandma's House.
well, yeah, especially back in 1990, and we're talking this could be a 5 or 25 cent game.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
well,
All right, so then it cuts to them back at home, and the kids are watching probably the Krusty Show, but it's a Itchy and Scratchy episode.
yes, and Marge doesn't get upset about this. We've seen her upset with them watching this, but I think the family that has the kids have fully transitioned from the Happy Little Elves to
Yes, we
Krusty the
don't.
Clown show and Itchy and Scratchy, which is cool.
I think that's fair. Yeah. So let them eat Scratchy was the episode, right?
Yes, yes, and yeah. Then there's a guillotine involved. There's all
There's
sorts of
guillotine.
craziness thing happening. Like every episode, it's great.
Yep. And so Marge calls the family in because soup's ready and they don't want to get the soup skin. And then Homer's like, oh, yeah, I don't like that.
I almost like barfed when I when I heard that because I'm not a soup guy. I know a lot of
Yeah.
people like soups. My ex-wife and her family are huge soup people. I was never a soup person,
Ah.
and but yes, that filmy skin that would get on top of soup, it makes I'd rather go to the mothballs. I don't
Well,
want to be involved in any way.
I would just like to say there's nothing wrong with the skin. It's just, the liquid
Uh,
evaporating, which causes sort of a concentration of the fats and proteins, and you can just kind of stir it in, right? It's not a
I
big deal.
I will not listen to the soup skin
This
apologist over here.
propaganda.
This is not what I came here to talk about.
That's my other podcast.
You can have
Soup
all
skin
yeah, this.
apologists. Yeah.
Jeez.
Um, so
Gross.
so during the meal, Homer's drinking his beer. Lisa has some good news. Marge wants her to be able to share, and sorry, Marge wants her to be able to share, and Homer is just focused on getting his next beer.
Yes, Duff beer, the
Yeah.
Springfield's finest.
Yes.
So, um, yeah, and and I like how she says no. Lisa has stuff first, and he's like, I know, I want to listen, I want to enjoy just with a beer.
I just want to have a beer while I'm carrying.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
she got another A on a vocabulary test. Really, no big deal, clearly, because all of her tests are all over the refrigerator.
Yes, except for one picture of a cat that Bart drew,
Yes.
according to my calculations, 3 years ago,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
because it says first grade on it, and he's
Okay.
fourth grade. So, and Homer puts it up there, and says, "Oh, we can finally cover this cat picture up," and Bart's upset because that's his crowning achievement,
That was
apparently,
his big
of
achievement that made the
education.
refrigerator. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's a big deal. I mean, I know you got one at home, but I've got three kids, and man, we have to be so judicious about the refrigerator space and like who gets what artwork up there.
Oh yeah, my house is it's a bachelor pad. We
Yeah.
just, we have just random stuff all everywhere. It's all his stuff. It's all my stuff.
That's great.
No women live here. It's great.
Yes. I think that's there's some nice parts to that. Yes.
Andy, it's a mess. Come help me.
I'll send help, Tom. Yeah. And then Homer drags Bart after dinner to watch Big Gorilla Night on TV.
Yes. Now Bart has to study. He has to hit
I
the books.
know.
He's got a big
He's
test coming up, but he doesn't want to disappoint his father.
doesn't want
And
to, yeah. He tries to protest a little bit.
yeah, but Homer's not having it.
No.
This is it's Gorilla Week.
Yeah, and Gorilla the Conqueror is on tonight.
Yes, which is like their version of King Kong or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
So yeah, and he ends up at some point he's like, okay, I'll watch for another hour. So you can
Yeah.
imagine what time it's getting at the Simpson household, whether it's 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Exactly.
He finally goes upstairs to study, and Homer's like, oh, burning the candle on both ends, eh, boy? Like, just,
I know, poor kid, and he falls right asleep as soon as he gets to his desk.
of course.
And then Marge and Homer come up, and Marge say, "Why does he keep failing?" And Homer's quick to say, "Well, maybe he's just a little dim, I guess." Just It's just so cruel. I mean, they don't really give him a chance. They don't see that he's trying to study. Homer's a distraction still. Um, And so it cuts to the next morning, and Bart's asking Otto for a favor.
Yes, yes, he is. And he wants if to see if he can crash the bus or
Yeah,
something to
exactly.
get them to
Yeah.
be late. And Otto has the perfect response for, a cool guy role model. And he says, "No, I can't do that.
Yeah.
They don't allow me to do that. But maybe you'll get
Maybe you'll
lucky."
get lucky. Yes.
Which is kind of twisted, but I like it.
So Bart's still trying to get some answers from some of his classmates. He goes to Sherry and Terry, unfortunately, who give him incorrect answers to the test, or potential answers to the test, I guess.
Yes, yes, they see the entire thing coming. They know
Yeah.
that he's not studying, and they're gonna mess with him. They say instead of they say one of the famous ships from the Independence way back when, whatever they were talking about. It was the Spirit of St. Louis, which we
Right.
obviously know that's incorrect. They just load him up with wrong answers, and a surprising twist when they get off the bus at school. Martin
Yeah.
comes over to him
Martin
and
Prince.
says,
Yeah.
very much like, "I know I'm your aunt, but they gave you all these answers that are erroneous.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah.
you have no chance at passing this test."
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, first of all, he declares himself that they're enemies, which is so sad.
Yeah.
Uh, but he does the right thing and tells him, you got the wrong answer. So then in the classroom, Bart's has to take the final straw and fake an illness again.
Yes, of course, which I'm sure we've all done. I do that. I do that at work constantly.
You do that on this podcast.
Oh, sorry, Andy. I'm not going to be there today.
I've got amoria phlebitis again.
Yes, Amoria phlebitis. My favorite part of so they send him home and they diagnose him with this whatever Amoria phlebitis
Yeah.
is, but the um, Marge goes up to the bedroom to check on him, and he can see whatever he's on his third bowl of ice cream. "Oh, you must be feeling better." And she declares that his vision is back and makes Homer bring the television,
Bring the
this
television.
big body box of a television, up the stairs to put it in his room.
In his room, yeah, those are the moves you used to have to make back when there was only one screen in a house, and if somebody
Yeah,
was sick, they got the TV in their room. Yeah, I remember things like that happening.
yeah,
Um,
that's crazy.
would you consider Miss Phipps, the school nurse, to be a character introduction at this point? Because it's the first time we see her. She does recur.
I think so. Yeah. She's not. I don't ever have a lot of memories of her being a big character, but yeah,
Sure,
she's in there. She's part of the administration,
she is.
working for Skinner.
Right.
So.
And getting back to amoria phlebitis, it's a fictional illness. It's not a real thing. I know. I know.
What,
Sorry to spoil
Andrew?
that.
Oh my gosh, you just all right. Well, you can just handle the rest of this episode yourself because I actually have whatever that phlebitis was called. Um, yeah.
Uh, so yeah, Homer is still watching a gorilla show, which is also funny.
Yes, it looks
But
like
yeah,
a more comedic one, like a
yeah,
like
yeah,
a gorilla that's almost like a clown or something. But yes, so he brings it up, and
gives up his
then
TV.
then there's a conversation with Lisa and Bart, and I believe Maggie's right there too.
Yeah,
Maggie's they always just stick her in with the kids, even when it kind of doesn't make sense that she'd be
sure.
there.
She's just there.
Yeah, and Lisa's like, everyone knows that you're faking,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
which is valid because he is. Um,
He also calls Millhouse, right? To ask for
yes,
the answers to the test.
yes.
Not directly, but sort of like trying to lead him into it.
Which is funny because I can't imagine taking a test at school in that age range,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
having a friend call me and me being like, "Oh yeah, well for number one I got this, number two I got this." And that seems so, even at the time, just unrealistic. And maybe I would just wasn't that bright of a kid, but I'd be like, "Oh, I don't know. I think those questions. It would be more vague. I'd be like, there's
Yeah,
questions about this. There's questions about that. Not what'd you get for number one? What'd you get
yeah,
for number
right,
two?
right.
I mean, this is hours ago. I mean, unless they took the test last period and they called him right after, who knows? But
I don't know. I mean, Millhouse does have glasses, so clearly he must be smart, right?
he must be smart.
Yeah.
So
So he quickly takes the test. They sort of show him in the classroom, like just checking off the, not even reading it, just like writing in the letters or whatever.
Yeah.
Krabappel quickly grades it and like can't believe he somehow did worse than Milhouse.
Right, which is funny because it almost implies that he switched one of his answers just,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
to not be perfectly exactly like Milhouse, and it's the assumption that
Got the
Bart
wrong one.
thinks
Yeah,
Milhouse got an A,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
which is very not self-aware of his best friend, and then to have switched one and still get it wrong, possibly switching the only one
The
Milhouse
only
got
one that, yeah,
right.
could be, yeah.
Like, jeez.
Oh, so yeah, again, does not pass. This brings in the school psychiatrist again, J. Lauren Pryor, who we
J.
met
Lauren
a
Pryor, yes,
couple times in season one.
we've seen him a few times. First time we've seen him without Skinner involved. Um,
Yeah.
and I
Hmm.
thought that was interesting. But they're here to discuss that, their solution for Bart's problem is to repeat the fourth grade.
Repeat the fourth grade. Oh my God. Yeah. They do like he sort of points out that, there's something wrong. He's underachieving. We're not sure why. Maybe it's a short attention span. And then it cuts to Homer listening to him, and all Homer hears is the blah blah blah
Blah,
blah.
blah.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So it's clearly genetic.
Yes, but the part that like makes me sad as a parent in this is they're asking him, "Hey Bart, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? Why aren't you doing well in school?" And that's how they keep shaping it. Like they're supposed to be the professionals that are here to give guidance on how a fourth grader learns, and they're just asking him, "Why can't you learn?"
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's it's not that's some I worked in education for many years, and that's not how you do it.
It's not how you
Like,
do it. Yeah, it's
that's
not
not how you
kind.
do it,
Yeah, but it makes
Um,
him feel like he's dumb, and that's what he just confesses. I'm dumb, and that's a sad little moment for this kid because he's not dumb. He's just, he's got issues. He's got
yeah.
some role model issues, all sorts of different things at home, and there's all sorts of reasons that he's struggling at school.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do, I think at one point when they're talking about him repeating the fourth grade, I do like the comment that Homer makes where he's just like, well, at least you'll be bigger than the other kids. As if that will make him feel better,
That would make up for it.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't know if I like would have appreciated that as a child, but I definitely found that funny as the adult watching this.
yes. So,
Um, so again, turns to his other male role model, Otto, right? Telling him
yes.
like, "Oh my God, they're gonna make me repeat the fourth grade," and Otto's trying to tell him to relax. I repeated the fourth grade twice.
Yeah, twice. And look, and now he drives the
No, I
school
drive the
bus
school bus.
as
As
if
if
he's
that's like the achievement. He's
right. Well, it's a pretty good achievement, it's a very good profession.
It is,
There,
it's a
it's
salaried
needed.
job, right?
Yeah, I'm sure they'll all be, automated and driverless at some point in our lifetime, but just let the kids fend for themselves. You know,
Exactly.
that's if they even go to school anymore.
Oh, yeah, we have had those windows of time where they didn't go to school, huh?
Yep.
I
Uh,
vaguely recall those days, but we won't talk
uh,
about it. We're not
let,
here for that right now.
let's go back to the soup skin. I don't want to talk about that.
But it cuts to another daydream where Bart's back in, or sorry, yeah, Bart's in school still with Mrs. Krabappel, but now Bart's an adult. Mrs. Krabappel is old, and she's again asking him, "What's the pirate's name in Treasure Island?"
And it's very much like Billy Madison, just like an
Yes, yeah,
adult in
he's
the
a
classroom.
giant. Yeah,
I mean, he looks awful, but he says he's married. My
that's
wife's
right.
nagging me. He's got real world problems, and he's just like, why do you keep asking me about this stupid pirate?
Oh, he's grown up. He's got real problems, but still can't pass the fourth grade.
Yep.
His son, Bart Jr., tries to help him by like telling him the answer, and then they both get detention.
Yeah, thanks a lot, son.
Yeah. Oh,
And Bart Jr. looks just like Bart, except that it feels like his head is a bit taller,
a little
like
longer. Yeah.
a little longer. He's a little skinnier. Yeah, I don't know why, but I think they were like, we got to switch him up somehow. They
Yeah,
did
we,
the
we
old drag on the animation.
yeah, we don't know what the presumed mother looks like. Maybe she's tall and lanky. I'm not sure.
Maybe, who
You
knows?
could guess what they were trying to do from there. He comes to, and they're already outside in the playground. I like how that's like the daydream continues through like class until they actually get outside.
Right, right.
Um, and then did he get hit by the ball? Is that what happened?
Um,
You
no,
just
I
hear
think
like,
they.
the
I think there's like
clunk,
a oh no, I thought it just got t tossed deep and it went over to
maybe.
Martin or something.
Martin, who's reading in the
Um,
grass. Yeah.
yeah, and by a tree, and Bart's like, throw the ball, and everyone laughs because Martin can't throw.
Yes, of course.
So he picks up the ball. We don't see the wimpy throw, but it's clearly a wimpy throw.
Yeah.
Everyone's laughing. But then Bart has an idea.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, this will work. I'll
We can
ask
team up.
Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll ask Martin to help me pass this class, and he will help me. Oh no, he'll help me pass the class, and Bart will help him be cool.
Yeah, exactly. It's a fair
And it's
trade, I'd say.
yeah, it's brilliant.
Martin doesn't really recognize it at first. He's not aware that he's not cool, but Bart's saying I can make it so the other kids don't laugh at you as much. But Martin's like, oh, well, I consider myself popular, and then Bart retorts like, no, you're not. Watch, and he just shoves him over,
Shoves him on the ground.
and all the kids
Everyone
laugh.
Yeah, all the kids laugh. And he gets up, but he's still not sure. And he's like, "Oh, do you need another demonstration?" He
Yeah.
shoves him again.
Pushes him
They laugh
again, yeah.
again. And then now it almost becomes like okay, I'll do it.
Oh, so sad. I was thinking about this as I was watching this, like as a kid identifying with Bart, right? Because that's the point of the show, and like
Yeah.
where it sort of was sort of customized for kids to watch and adults to watch, and sort of doing these parallel stories. I identified with Bart, but as an adult, like looking back at myself, like I was Martin, like I was not Bart. I didn't do any of the cool things. People would ask me for help in school, and like what are the answers on the test and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I was clearly Martin and just did not know it.
Ah, see, I think I was more like Milhouse without the glasses. Just, or maybe one of the other nondescript. I felt like I was always a background character
Oh.
in the universe,
Yeah.
always there, always hanging out. I was the one laughing, just enjoying what other
Enjoying
people
it.
were doing.
Yeah, yeah. All right, you're
Um,
like Lewis then, right?
yeah, I'll be Lewis.
Yeah. Oh man, so Bart brings Martin back to his house, and Martin's wondering like, well, what's your study area look like? And brings him up, and it's clearly a mess. So
Yep.
he sort of starts by instructing him on like how to clean up, um, and they ride the bus together, and Bart's trying to tutor Martin on, you could if you sit in the back of the bus, nobody can see what you're doing.
Yes, yes. I like Bart's tutorial, kind of what to
Yeah.
do with Martin. I wrote it down. I had to
Ooh.
I had to put up the subtitles and whatever because he says them quickly, and it's so the potential for mischief varies inversely with one's proximity to authority figure, and he has written on his note card MOC 1/PA, like it's an
Yeah.
equation of how to be cool,
Yeah.
which controversially is the most uncool thing he could be doing right now. In my opinion, if
In
I'm
your
gonna sit
opinion,
if I'm
I
gonna
think
sit
it's
here,
cool.
yeah, if I'm going to sit here and make fun of an animated fourth grader, which I am, that's what we're here.
Well,
That's what
that's
we're here
right,
to do.
because it's really uncouth to make fun of a real fourth grader, so we're gonna stick with the animated ones.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, so I don't know. It's kind of an interesting dynamic seeing Bart try to turn Martin cool and see Martin try
Yeah,
to
they do a
get
montage of it.
yeah, and with on the other side, Martin is, let me see your study space, and Bart's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
He's got a desk that's filled with dirty clothes and
Under some
toys and
stuff. Yeah.
and Martin's like, well, you need a fern in here, like what?
Yeah.
So, do you have a fern in your office right there, Andrew?
I don't, not in this office. I'm putting together my professional office right now because I've had a virtual practice for a while and I'm transitioning back to a physical practice. Andrew Murray Psychiatry and Psychotherapy in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Sponsor of
Way.
this show. Yes.
Yes. Unofficial or official? Do I get a check? Oh no, I'm racking up my bill here.
The company is donating time right now. So I've sort of put together a plan for like where the plants will go in that space. So
Excellent. So you will have some ferns. I'll have to get some ferns. I'm putting together my home office too, so I can
Yeah.
have a dedicated space for this.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but no current ferns in my house. I don't have any
Current
plants. I have
No,
outdoor plants, but not indoor. Yeah, I don't know.
that's fair. You live in, in Maine. There's plants around.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah, we've got some indoor plants, but none of it is my doing. Like my wife
uh,
brought them from wherever she was before we met and has
yeah.
continued to care for them and help them live.
Oh, nice. And they're
Yeah,
still alive. That's
they
good.
are. Yeah,
We have some at the office, and I don't know. They don't look like they're doing very well.
yeah. Your job is to not kill them.
Yes. What is it with you and failing?
So the
Where are we?
montage going back and forth. They have like the gag where Bart's supposed to be studying and he has got a comic book on the inside, and Martin's supposed to be looking at a comic book and he's got the math book on the inside.
Yeah, yeah.
They do a montage in the mirror. They're making faces together. That was one of the things I remember sticking out as a kid. Like that's funny that they're making
Yeah.
faces.
Yeah.
And
And then the spray painting or whatever.
spray
Bart
painting
is
the
trying
wall.
to
Yeah.
spray paint, and then he gives it to Martin, and Martin just makes this beautiful looking mural of the teacher, which is
Who he admires. Yes. I also like when Martin's like cracking the whip on Bart when he's highlighting in the book, and he says, pretty soon you'll be able to try it with a real book.
right, right. So,
Just like learning how to highlight in a blank book. I love that.
yeah, no, it's a phenomenal little pair they've got here,
But
and
soon Martin learned too much, I think, is what happened.
it falls apart. Which Bart is a great teacher.
Clearly, Bart's the better teacher. Yeah.
Yeah, so Martin becomes too cool, doesn't want to help with the schoolwork anymore.
Yep.
Because he's kind of a leader. He's taking his Bart's friends
Bart's
to the
friends, yeah.
arcade, and they're all like over exaggerating, like, yeah,
Martin,
Martin,
Martin.
yeah, like, yeah, let's hang with Martin.
How quick they are. Yeah. To
And that's
abandon.
that's that age group, right? That's
That's true. Things are fickle. Yeah.
very common. So Bart now has to take this test, and
Got to study on his own, and he's trying to study into the night. Feels hopeless and sort of turns to prayer.
yes, he turns to prayer, and Lisa notices this, and she
overhears
says,
it, yeah.
overhears it, and she says, prayer, the last resort for a scoundrel. Which you don't hear people referring to other people as scoundrels very often.
Children rarely, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to incorporate the word scoundrel more in my
It's mostly
my
people talking
vocabulary.
about you, Tom. That's why you don't hear it.
Oh no,
That scoundrel Tom.
Typical. Well, that scoundrel Tom is in therapy right now. Give him a minute.
We're free to have all sorts of identifications there. That's okay. But
Yes.
then we see the snow start to fall, and then the Hallelujah chorus starts to play. There's a miracle happening. The prayers
Yes.
paying off.
Yep. They get a blizzard, and
Get a blizzard.
so there's no school. We don't know what time of school year it is. They kind of it makes but that's going to be a recurring theme for the entire series.
Right. The time and space is unclear.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. But I
Uh,
think we're in this. It's almost like a Groundhog Day situation where.
kind of, because they haven't aged in 40 years, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the next morning, they're gathered around the radio again, right? Marge wakes up Bart and says, "Hey, it's snowing," and they're listening to Bill and Marty on the radio. Two grown men who can't get enough of each other.
Which I thought was great because I think it should be donuts on the couch. Two men who can't get enough of each other.
Two grown men.
Two grown men.
Maybe future seasons will be shifting that. I don't know.
Yeah, I immediately just saw that and I was like,
I
oh,
did
that's
too,
like
yeah.
that's like me and Andy.
That's
It's
what we
perfect.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's us.
So the cancellations are getting read out, and Homer's waiting, and they like slowly roll out that the power plant is canceled for whatever reason, which I don't think is actually a thing that can happen, right?
No. No, and then the very radio-esque like, and now for the school children.
Well, what you've all been waiting
take
for.
a look at
Yeah.
this. Well, let's see. Springfield Elementary. I don't know. I can't
Building
read
tension,
it.
yeah.
Is closed. So of course everyone is all excited.
Oh, yeah.
Bart runs to go get his sled, and you see
Yep.
this montage of all the kids running out and all the moms running out with mittens and hats and being like, but the kids
forget,
don't care.
Yep, no, they don't
And
care.
then-
They're right out there.
And then the mood is shifted with this with this big force that's in front of the doorway.
Lisa.
Lisa Simpson is standing there and saying, "You know, Bart, you prayed for this.
Yeah.
You know,
You really
you."
conveyed the tone of that very well, Tom. I
It
appreciate
was
that. Yeah.
very like,
It's
because
big,
it's
heavy.
such a great moment of, a snow day. We're gonna go out, we're gonna go play. Everyone's gonna be out and having a snowball fight and sledding and all the things. And Lisa's just like, mm-mm, I don't
Mm-mm.
think so. And Bart feels it. He stops. He's like, "You're right." So he has to go up and study, and he
He
starts
does, yeah.
studying.
Yeah. Because, again, Lisa's speech is funny because she's a second grader, but talking about like, I'm no theologian. Like, God
Yeah.
is a force more powerful than mom and dad put together. And so again, that's like this mix of she's educated, but she also has the lens of a second grader where like mom and dad are still very powerful, like in an impossible way. But God is even more powerful than that.
Which seems insane. Like, oh my
That's
God,
right.
how can you be more powerful than mom and dad? Yeah.
I know.
Um,
So Bart tries to convince himself he's not missing anything, and he gets to the books, right?
Yeah, he starts, then we see him daydreaming about
Yep.
what he's studying, and it goes back to him being kind of in with the Continental Congress.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
um, and there's some jokes in here too. I like where Benjamin Franklin invents the sled, and it
Yeah,
says,
yeah.
"Don't sled on me" or something
Oh, I don't
on the
think I saw
sled.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
instead
Nice.
of "Don't tread on me." Um, which is funny. And then of course we hear them breaking up because they've got a blizzard as well. So he's clearly studying and thinking about the blizzard, and they're like, "Oh, blizzard in July. That's crazy." Um,
Oh no. Oh, the scene outside is it's massive, right? Everybody's just having the most fun that's ever happened. But they also revisit a lot of like the minor characters from the first season. They sort of flash through a lot of these minor characters. You see, well, clearly there's the snowball fight between Homer and Burns, which is kind of
yep.
fun. But you see Cowboy Bob out there, you see Jacques, you see Princess Cashmere, like all of these characters that you start to think as this is transitioning from season one to season two, like these are going to be big players, I guess. They're always around, but we really don't see them again. Like there's little bit parts for each of them as the time goes on. But
Well, and it's similar to Dr. Marvin Monroe having
yeah,
like his own episode basically, and then having bit parts that become smaller and smaller.
yeah,
Like him being in the crowd during the Telltale Head episode is like, oh, he's here.
yeah,
Um, but then, thinking back to when we were kids versus when we are now, there was one joke at that Continental Congress day,
yeah,
um, daydream scene that is hilarious. Someone from outside in the blizzard at that point is like, "Guys, everyone look, John Hancock is writing his name in the snow."
yeah.
Which, I think I don't think I caught that as a kid. I don't clearly truly remember, but it's
Yeah.
hilarious because we know John Hancock wrote his big famous signature, very big and whatever,
Yeah.
and we also know what writing your name in the snow means.
Yes.
So just hilarious that would be what's happening, and that's what they would be enjoying. And we forget these a lot of the guys in that time period were very young. The Continental
Oh,
Congress
sure.
representatives.
Yeah.
They weren't 40,
They weren't
50,
old
60
men.
year
Yeah.
old men.
Yeah.
They were, they were in their 20s, if not younger,
Sure.
or slightly older. But yeah, just kind of a funny little gag they put in there.
So speaking of these like historical political figures, we get an introduction here, Tom, that I don't think we have yet had of Mayor Quimby. I believe this is the
Yes.
first time we see him.
I think it's the first time we see him. He declares that it's officially snow day or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
And yeah, they don't make a big deal out of it. They just
They
show
don't.
him, but
He's just
he's going
there with
to,
this like sort of Kennedy-esque way that he speaks, and it's like
yeah.
it's distinct. His voice doesn't change as the show goes on. They like nailed it right there, and they just continue to use that thereafter.
Yeah, which is cool. It's,
I did.
they sneak him in and they're going to hold to it. We're going to see him more and more, I think, probably as this season goes on and certainly
Yeah.
future seasons. So,
I like how he declares it the funnest day in the history of Springfield.
yes, the funnest day,
The
which
funnest
funnest
day.
is not a word, but that's
Yes.
okay.
That's okay. It's a fictional world. It can be. All right.
Maybe he almost failed the fourth grade as well. So
I,
who
I think
knows?
that I think there's something to that actually. Yes. So yeah, he has this daydream, and basically he almost comes to like while he's taking the test, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Krabappel's quick to score it again. He gets a 59, which is another
So
F. It's a
so
high
close.
F. Yeah.
It is a high F, and she says that, and she's kind of comforting him with like, there. I thought you'd be used to failing by
I
now,
know.
like this shouldn't, like this isn't affecting him at all, and it's not different because he knows he's gonna have to repeat the fourth grade. Um, and then here is where we get Bart saying, he feels like George Washington and his
Yeah.
defeat at Fort Necessity.
Yes, well, he's like actually like really crying about this, and he's really upset about it. Like this, like I think as we're doing this rewatch, this is the first time I really like felt something like visceral. Like I feel very sad for this kid at this moment.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean he's struggling, he's earnest, he was trying hard. I don't know, as I think about that a little bit more, like, well, if he's trying hard and still fails, maybe that's more the reason that you should hold him back.
Well, that's true. That's true. They don't hold kids back very much anymore, I don't think.
Right.
There's a lot of social promotion. They think it's damaging to have a kid be much older than his classmates. But at the same time, they do a lot more with, individualized education
Yeah.
plans and classroom supports, which is good to help kids get to be where they need to be. But yeah, did you know much about the battle of Fort Necessity?
I
Back on July 3rd, 1754.
Beyond that, Tom, no, I did not know much more
No,
about
no,
it. Yeah,
I didn't know much either. It was a early skirmish in the. I'm just reading this off Google. I didn't,
that's fine.
I didn't do a ton of research, but I wanted to look it up.
Your
Early,
thesis was on this, right? Yeah.
yes, yes. I also faked my way through that. It's an early skirmish in the French and Indian War where a young George Washington surrendered to the French and Native American forces, making his only military defeat.
Hmm.
It was precipitated by Washington's earlier ambush of a French detachment at Jumonville Glen. The battle took place at a hastily built fort in present-day Pennsylvania.
Ooh.
Um, and ending with Washington, and this is my favorite part, ending with Washington signing a French document he couldn't read.
Oh.
Sign here, okay, which admitted to the assassination of Jumonville.
Oh no.
Um,
Yeah, you shouldn't sign something you can't read. That's
nope, no, you should not. That's a good,
a very little
good.
bit of legal advice you'll get here.
Yep, just don't do that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Uh,
that was that. It's kind of interesting.
it is.
1954, though. I wonder like when was George Washington born? Let's go down the rabbit hole. He was born in 1732, so he was 22.
Mm.
It was obviously later on he was president, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
not
he
much
became
beyond that.
president in 1789. So what's
I don't know.
89 minus 32, Andrew? That's how old he was.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. That's a whole.
Fifty-ish. I don't
That's
know.
old enough, right?
That's older than I thought. I thought he was a younger
Yeah.
president, but whatever.
Well, he had all that poofy white hair, right?
I
Oh,
think
or is
that
that a wig? Yeah.
I think it might be a wig. Do they have
Yeah,
wooden teeth? I'm not sure.
yeah. He cut down a cherry tree. Was that? Are
Folks,
we
this
thinking of the
is
same guy?
not this is not a history podcast. Do not
It's
take
not.
anything we're saying as reality. We're
Do
here for
not
the
use these
jokes.
for answers on your test. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So, getting back to the show, Bart's now ecstatic. Yeah, or Krabappel acknowledges, like, okay, you're using this in an applied way. I think that scores you some points. So now he gets a D minus, right?
Yes, yes.
And he
Which
passes.
he passes. He immediately, and now this is it's jubilation. He
Yes.
jumps up out of his chair. He grabs the paper. He's excited. He kisses the teacher and runs out the door saying, I passed, I passed, I passed. I got a D minus. I got a D minus. I passed. I passed. And then the realization hits. And he's like, I passed. I kissed the teacher. Which I remember as a kid, see,
Yeah.
like that line and that moment, because yeah, as a 10th grader, kissing the teacher has got to be the most disgusting thing you can probably think of.
Just a quick correction. He was a fourth grader, not a 10th grader, because a 10th grader kissing the teacher is a whole other legal issue, I think.
You're
We've
right.
seen that.
I meant it
It's
was
just
10,
just a
not a
slip. Yeah, yeah,
10.
yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But
Oh, Freudian slip.
we're here for it. This was my first like water cooler moment. I think like this is the first thing I ever saw on TV that I was talking about the next day with kids. I remember talking to Scott Fairbanks in third grade about this, and like that was the punchline of that was just so funny to me that we were just basically reliving the episode, similar to what we're doing here now. But as a kid, we were talking about what'd you see on TV last night, and
Yeah, well, back then we had what, 5 channels, and we all watched the same thing. So
that's true.
That's
Yeah.
what happened.
Broadcast television in the metro Boston area was pretty slim, right?
Yeah. So, but yeah, so that's the episode.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good.
Huge transition, I would say, from season 1 to season 2.
Yes, definitely. The flow of this episode felt good. The
There's a density to it.
yeah, the animation has stepped up. It's pretty good.
Even like thinking about it, like I feel like, dissecting it, kind of have to step back a little bit further than we did in season 1, where we could kind of look at each line. But in this season, like they pack in like 4 or 5 jokes in each line. So you can't really recap every line the same way. You kind of just have to get sort of a feel for what's going on.
Yeah, and so one thing that we did for season 1 is we went over the IMDb rating of the show.
I remember.
Which isn't, yeah, I don't know if you remember, but I'm sure our audience members remember. But
They've just been waiting. Like,
Yeah.
when are they going to get to that
Oh,
part?
God,
That part I
please.
could Google.
Yeah, right. So, and it's obviously an imperfect system. It's voter based. You can do whatever you want. But for season 1, the highest rated episode was both Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire and Krusty Gets Busted. And those were both rated 8.3 out of 10. This episode, to lead things off in season 1, got an 8.3 out of 10.
Okay.
So, the people have voted and say that this is right up there with the best episodes of the first season, which I tend to agree to, because I think it's a good kicking off point. I know you said you start with the comic, 3 Men in a Comic episode, which I can't wait to get to now that you mention it. But we'll get to that in months at this point. Yeah, like it's pretty highly rated. And so for next week, when we get there, we have Simpson and Delilah,
Ooh.
which is an episode that I don't remember as well as I should. It's the hair restoration episode for Homer,
Right.
but that one again is another highly rated episode. It's an 8.2, so certainly worth a rewatch and relook.
Yeah. So, as you continue to join us on this journey, if you're listening in, I don't know, maybe do you watch the episode first and then tune in, or do you tune in and then maybe revisit the episode if you want, or none of the above? I don't know. There's no right or wrong way.
No,
There won't
whatever
be
you
a
wanna
test
do.
at the end. Well,
No, there won't. Maybe people are just listening while they're at work, and we're getting them through the day. I don't
giving
know.
them a reason to live. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So stay tuned next week.
If you want to keep going, tune back in next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, fun. I'm so excited to get into really the meat of the second season as we continue to move forward with this fun project and podcast. So,
Absolutely.
Donuts on the couch, growing up on Evergreen Terrace. Tune in next.
Listening
Yes,
to
we'll talk to you guys
Donuts
next
on
week,
the
all right?
couch, growing up on Evergreen Terrace.
Yet another Simpsons rewatch podcast.